So I want to not only share my testimony, most importantly, I want to share with you what I have learned, what God have taught me through my trials, through that desert. You don't have to stay in that stagnation. You can learn what I learned in short of time. So you don't have to go through suffering, confusion, discouragement, despair. You don't have to go through the hard way. We don't have to be stubborn, blind eyes, and until God's punishment wake up us. We want to learn through the easy way, the wise way. There's too little time, too many good things. What God did for me, I want to share with other people. Because many of you, you are going through your trials. You are being tested. But if you know God's truth, you know His secret. And like right now, I came out of that trials. It's like God opened my eyes. When I look back those years, I said, would be nice if I understood everything back then. I don't believe I will need 10 years to go through that trials. Maybe I only need 1 year. When you're awakening, you see everything with a different. We will never try to convince anybody believe what we believe. That's why everybody deserve what they have right now. Any situation, any circumstance, any kind of mountains testing you are going through right now, because we deserve, because of our belief, our characters, wrong way to look at everything. I want each of you love God more than ever and have a clear picture of everything, what's going on in your life right now and how to react everything. You know clearly. I don't want to see you suffering, confused. I don't want to see you deny the calling. I want to see you can speed up so you can be pleased by God. You can be used by God and you can be favored by God. When I look back at everything, I see the hands of God, how He need you, how He guide you, how He bring you to that direction. Even you are so sinful, so wicked, but His hands on you, He protect you. Amazing God. How beautiful to see Muslim believer. It's much harder for a Muslim or Buddhist, like I was in China. When you grow up, everybody believe Buddha. Muslim, they believe Allah. It's much harder for us to believe in Jesus. It's a miracle. That's why we need so thankful to Jesus. When I was beginning to learning to speak, my aunt carried me on her shoulder. I spoke night to her, not even 2 years old. When I began to learn to walk, I abused, bullied those young kids. Since I was a child, the evil spirit inside of me. Because often I enjoy to see blood, to see people suffer. I was 5-6 years old. We live in a poor village. Often we have beggars came to our village. I would tell other young children, threw stones to them, and also took away the begging bowl. I was filled with the evil spirit. All I enjoyed is to see other people's pain. That's the devil's characters. Satan's joy is to see other people painful, fearful. The other day I remember clear, I used my father's operation knife. I pick up a living frog in front of my 2 sisters. I cut open that frog's belly. And the heart's still jumping. I was laughing. I said to my sister, look, frog didn't die. My 2 sisters looked at me, shocking. They said, how come you are so evil? I didn't even have a conviction. In front of my parents, looking like my 2 sisters bully me. But behind my parents, I bully my 2 sisters. I gave them water. I threatened them. They hated me. So I was like double faces. When I go to school, I was bullied others. Give the other girl a name. I call her small head. During the next few years, I suffered by small head I have. I was like 8 years old. My body kept growing, but my head stopped to grow. I look at the shadow. I look so funny. I look at the mirror. I have no confidence. Then I realized the consequence. There's a power in the universe. Whatever we did wrong is going to come back to us. Many times I was near to death. My grandma realized that there a evil power tried to kill me because many times I was near to death. I drowned into the water many times. One time I was in a pond. All the other children, they are like a similar my age, 5, 6, 7 years old. They were screaming, running, trying to find the grow up to help. And I realized they brought a grandma in her 80s. She came, she couldn't do anything. That's a moment I didn't give up hope. I just used my hands, grab something. Finally, I grabbed a grass, very short a weak grass, but that grass saved my life. I came out of the water, lost my conscious. I could died, but somehow there's supernatural power saved my life. Many times I throw stone to some boys, some girls, they bleeding, then I run away. I brought my parents plenty of sorrow, tears, anger, nature. I went to a school. Most dangerous place is a school, middle school. Be rejected, insulted, try to figure out why we have to be like anybody else. Why I have to obey, follow other people's value system, what they believe I should believe. And that's the time I was so struggle. I tried not become the mass, become the others. And I believe that's the reason why God chose me, because I don't want to imitate others. I want to be that person, what God wants me to be. But as a result, persecution came to me. People make fun with me, insulted me. Without reason, they came against me. In front of everybody, they tried to make me shameful. I was a good student, learned so hard. Because when you're born in China, a poor countryside, you realize only one way you have a future. Go to a good college. But the harder I learn, I get worse the great result. I was a top 10. In the end, I became the last 10. So this school teacher told me, you are not allowed to take final exam. That means I have no chance to go to college. That rejection totally changed me. I feel like worseness, have no future. I was so confused. I went back home. My parents look at me like a failure. I feel like I have no hope at all. I'm doomed. So much grief and confusion. I said, I learned so hard. So often in the midnight, I have to hide in my blanket with a flashlight because school, they force you to turn off the light around 10 o'clock. But I was confused. I learned so hard why there's no result. I was kicked out from that school. God is amazing, God, because of all this experience make me realize that even in human eyes, there's no future. But in God's eyes, you are full of potential because our future is not dependent on education background, not dependent on your knowledge. Our future depends on God only. But back then, I didn't understand, full of disappointment. I thought, I'm done. I will end up, have a poor life, end up living in countryside. He always have a much better plan for you. So when I got out of the school later, my parents sent me to another school. When I finished that school, I end up to a big city. I start work. Either they fire me or I fire them. Then I became my own boss. Whatever I learned, I imitate. For 1 month, I sold beers for other company. 1 month later, I went around to find a company sell beer. I tell the owner, I'm gonna sell your beer, but you have to give me very low price. Then I went around to look my restaurant. I told them, if you allowed me sell beer in your place, I will share my profit with you. So they all agreed with me. Now I hired a beautiful young girl, bought them very attractive clothes. Now they want to sell beer for me. And suddenly I make good money. And suddenly I realized, wow, I don't need the education background. I could have a great future. But then I learned a big lesson very soon. A manager from this big chain restaurant, he said, we know each other. We don't need to sign contract. You just keep signing in my place. Later, I will pay you. So we sold in his place for many months. He collected all this money. A few months later, he turned totally different face. He said, who are you? I don't even know your name. What do you want? I said, you owe me this amount of money. He said, I don't know you. Prove I owe you money. With my mom, I was so shocking. I was full of anger. I said, how dare this man? He thought I'm young. He thought I have nobody help me. That's a moment I realized this world is so wicked. I always trust people blindly. I learned my first lesson. I was 19 years old. Now my dream broken. I want to be a rich businesswoman. Now my parents said, you are gonna always be deceived by others. You better find a job. God always have favor on me. Very soon I find a good opportunity to meet this banker in China. Banker is a good job. I'm a very determined person. I said, I want that job too. And very soon, this person said, we need to hire someone. I believe your abilities. So I went there. 2 months later, I get fired. My boss said, you are not suited in this kind of industry insult me. I determined I'm gonna work in bank. I found another bank. From there, I worked 8 years, and I met a banker boyfriend. He taught me everything. I became the best worker in that bank for many years. But soon I realized now I have everything. In my 20s, I have a beautiful apartment, sport car. I didn't went to college. I didn't even have a kindergarten diploma. I had nothing to show for. But I realized my life became so easy. I got whatever I want. Whenever I determined, I will receive. People around me always envy me, jealous of me, especially my 2 sisters. Now, I feel so empty. I have no joy. I didn't have a peace. I started hanging out with wrong people, go to a party and get drunk, sleep around, went to the bar, and I live a life totally wicked. And so to devil, like my life is a double life. When I go to work, people look at me, a good worker. But when I come out of a working place, I just dressed like a bad woman. More and more I feel empty. Now I tried everything, like a King Solomon. If you have everything, it can be a curse if you don't have Jesus, because it's gonna make you more confused. Before you have nothing, you think maybe if I get whatever I want, I will be happier, I will be content. But when you reach that place, that mountain, now what? I'm in the worst place, more confused. Everything turned to worse. My health turned to worst. I made the most of money, 300,000 a year. And I had the worst attitude. I get angry all the time. Whenever I went, I was like a woman mafia. Threaten people, pick up fight. My parents, my sisters look at me, shake their head. They think, how come she's so rude? But I was out of control. That evil spirit totally controlled me. During those times, I start to like to race car. I realize when I drive so fast, I get excited. That moment, I can feel a little bit of joy. So I start to race car every time. Many times I was near to death to involve a big car accident, but God protected me. One time, a lady talked to me, you should go to check your health. At the same time, my coworker make fun with me. You look like an AIDS person. That was an AIDS day during December time. I realized that maybe I need to go to check my health. I went to this small hospital. This doctor looked at me like I had a very serious disease. He made me scared. So I left this place. Then I decided to go to the biggest hospital. The doctor said, tomorrow I will tell you result. So second day I called him up. He said, your blood is so, it sounds like I have something seriously disease going on. He need to send my blood to the #1 biggest hospital in whole China, which is called Beijing. He said, you have to wait the 3 days. Can you imagine during that 3 days what's going on in my mind? Now I assumed I no longer have a chance to live. My gums always bleeding. I hard to even breathe normal. And during the 3 days, I thought about Jesus because my co-worker, he told me, if someday you are in your trouble day, nobody can help you, cry out to Jesus. During these 3 days, I started writing a letter. I said, Jesus, my life just started. I don't want to die. If you give me more time, the doctor tell me you are fine, then this is evidence. Prove to me you are real God, and I will serve you, believing in you. During the 3 days, I was like a prisoner waiting for the result. Either be released from prison or death sentence. As longer 3 days I have never experienced. Finally, on that day, this doctor called me. My legs was shaking. I didn't know what's gonna waiting for me. He said, your result was fine, totally normal. That's exactly I promised to God. If I hear these words, I will believe in you. There's a moment I was jumping, shouting. I was full of joyful tears. I said, Jesus, you are real. Thank you. But next moment, I totally forgot my promise to God. I went back to the word again because a voice told me, this is just a coincidence, have nothing to do with Jesus. Maybe you never had disease. Maybe you just too much nervous. Very soon, I met a man. I dated with him. He judged me all the time, condemned me all the time. After these 2 months, I couldn't sleep anymore. Every night, I only can sleep 2 hours. Then I keep racing car with others. I live a crazy life, get drunk, and get angry all the time. I rarely go back home to eat with my parents. I feel like my success measured by The month I eat outside with the people, they invited me. That means I'm popular. Every night I hang out with the wrong people, and I told my parents, if you say I came back without smile, don't talk to me. That means I'm angry. My parents rarely talk to me. If you don't keep your promise to Jesus, which kind of consequence will come after you? Like this Muslim brother, he shared his testimony. After he burned these 3 Bibles, he started experience unusual thing happening into his life. He couldn't work normal anymore. He was pioneered. Now, all the evidence proved to him there's a punishment after him if you make a promise to God, if he saved you. But if you abandon him, your situation will get worse than ever. Back then, I wasn't a believer. I have no idea. During that next 3, almost 4 years, every night I couldn't sleep. I get more and more angry, more and more empty. You know, when you cannot sleep, you become a crazy person. Vicious circle. I look like a horrible person, always angry face. Every day, a voice keep telling me, kill yourself. Go out, get drunk, go out to party, to race a car, to fight with people. When you don't know Jesus, when you live in sin, that's a reality. Devil will kill you. You are consumed by your lifestyle. Every part of your life destroyed. Race car with a man. When that light start turning, yellow light, but before turn to red, I saw that the man tried to compete with me. I said, I definitely gonna win you. So I speed up, traffic line. But at the same time, a motorcycle guy passed by from that place. And my car full speed hit on that young guy. He was flew away 20 meters back. When I look back, his blood all over from his eyes, nose, ears, mouth. I was panic. I look at my phone, 200 people's so-called friends' phone number. I called up few. They all tell me I have no time. I realized I didn't have one friend. Out of desperation, again I thought about Jesus. I thought about it 4 years ago. He healed me. Now I made another promise to Jesus. If you save this young man's life, I'm gonna believe in you, serve you. This time, I definitely keep my promise. And the policeman came to me and said, you are a living miracle. The way you drive 80 miles without seatbelt, you should be the one on the floor. My father, when he saw this young man, how his blood came out, because my father, he was a doctor. He said there's no way for him to survive. Even doctor in the hospital said it's a miracle if he survived. But the doctor said, go back to your home, wait for my phone call. If tonight I don't call you, that means he will survive. I went back home with my parents. First thing, I turned on the worship song. I feel peace. I couldn't sleep for 3 years, but that miracle happened from that day. I went to bed to sleep. My mom also couldn't sleep during that time. But second morning, we both wake up and said, wow, we have never slept 7-8 hours whole night through. We recognize the miracle already happened. We went to the hospital. This man came back to life. And now I start believe Jesus is real. Because for many years, I couldn't sleep normal. During the whole week, I start trying to find the Bible, try to know everything about Jesus. I went to a young lady, her place. She said, my pastor, brother-in-law, he's here. Do you want to meet him? Wow, you see how God managed everything. Because during that week, I start thinking about Jesus. Now, Jesus prepared the way for me. Now, when I talk to this pastor, when he tell me, you just need to pray sinner's prayer. Sinner's prayer normally only needs 2-3 minutes. But that day cost me 1 hour. I couldn't stop crying. When I beginning the first word, Jesus, crying like a baby. I couldn't stop at all. For many years, I never had one tears. I was stony heart. When I see my boyfriend suffering from his tummy pain, I didn't have any emotion, no compassion. But this moment, I feel like I wasn't the same person anymore. I cried bitterly. From that day, I never be the same. It looked like my stony heart took away by Jesus. I became crybaby from that day, cry every day until today. But no longer cry for self, just cry for Jesus, how great you are. During that whole week, every day I was crying. And one day I was watching this video, Passion, how Jesus died for us. I cried 3 hours, couldn't stop. I sit in the car, cry and cry, with broken heart. I said, Jesus, you're so wonderful, you're so great. I was a sinner, not worthy of your love. But you chose me, you saved me. You took me out of that darkness, that wicked place. You gave me a new heart. I went back home. While I was washing my face, I saw a cross in the water. The first time I experienced, God, you are real. You talk to me. My tears moved your heart. True, when your heart moved for Jesus, He revealed Himself to you. Very soon, He talked to me, write a book, to use this book to testify His goodness. Never thought about to be a writer, but He gave me 6 times confirmation to write the book. He said, that's my will, not your will. I saw that's my own idea. I was like a Gideon, beginning Gideon served God. He asked confirmation. That young man, he came out from hospital under 1 week. I told him, your life saved by Jesus. Please go to church, find a Bible, and get baptized. During that 1 month, I went back to that Pernice place. The same Pernice man made a picture. He couldn't recognize that's me. He said, you are not the same look. You don't talk same. He wondered what happened to me. I said, Jesus changed me. He was so shocking. How can a person totally transformed under 1 month? I was working in bank for 8 years. But after I became a believer, I quit my job. In 3 months, God told me write a book. And that time I met a man, again, like a miracles. 1 year ago, I dated this man. I realized the same time he dated the other girlfriend I have. And I found it out. I said, never call me again. But now I became a believer. I was walking in the park. When I turned back, I saw a man. He looked tall, handsome, just like that type of man I want. Then I said, it would be nice he come to me, talk to me. A few minutes later, he even called my name. Now I realized he was the same man 1 year ago we dated. But he looked like a different person, much more humble. He said, during that past 1 year, I continue to pray to God. If that's your will, make me meet her again. And the second time when we met, and 1 month later we engaged. Then I came to America. Beginning of 2010, when I became a Christian, God in short time changed everything. New relationship. He gave me a courage to quit my job. Because for a long time I believe this job gonna give me security, give me honor. I was fearful, but now God changed me. I was able to let go everything. Actually tortured me. I hate that job. Because you try to please your parents. You try to be look like successful people. You do something you don't want to do. Now when you belong to God, you are more real to yourself. You have a strength, you have faith. That's why if you are truly surrendered to God, in short of time, every part of your life will be changed by God. Because now you are willing to obey God's direction. When He guides you, your old life have to be gone. That's why He chose His servant, Abraham, Gideon, Joseph. Each of them, they went to a new place. Even Daniel, God have to bring them out of somewhere. Now this time, after I became a Christian, God brought me out of that place, China. He brought me to America. I was excited for this new life. Finally, I don't work in bank anymore. Now I have a new hope. And we have a beautiful apartment in front of the ocean, looking like that man I married. His name is Rudy. Look like he's a successful man. When I came to America, beautiful apartment. People lived close by, they are millionaires. I assumed Rudy was a millionaire too. Everything looked perfectly fine. Every day we walk to beach, 5 minutes away. We lay in front of the ocean, we enjoying the life. Then he went to traveling. One day he went to the other room, he closed the door. I heard a voice said, if you don't pay back that money you owe to me, I'm gonna come to your place. I found out where you live. He said, I'm gonna come to kill you. I heard everything. Now I was in deeply shocking. What? He owed millions to somebody, not only one person, many people. And I didn't realize my life in danger because of this man I married. That moment I was full of surprise, speechless. I didn't even know how to handle. I know I cannot tell my parents. I have no friend. And my shocking turned to anger. I said, God, you set a trap for me to come here. I sold everything. I had nothing anymore. I gave this money to Rudy, to my parents. That $100,000 completely gone. I didn't prepare anything for myself. And I realized now I'm in deep trouble. I'm in deep dangerous place. I was so angry to God because of you. I end up like this way. I thought you're gonna lead me to promised land, but you bring me to Egypt to become a slave. Get very angry, ask Rudy, why you didn't tell me? He said, if I tell you I owe this money, would you marry to me? Of course no. He said, then you understand why I didn't tell you, because I love you. So that time I got really disappointed. Rudy have to travel to Europe most of the time. I was by myself in the place. Think about that murder and worry about any time that person will show up in front of the door. I was controlled by fear. Out of desperation, I start pray. For many months, I gave up pray, gave up to read the Bible. That place full of demons because Rudy liked to collect all those ancient demonic painting. And many times, I experienced the demonic spirit. I was taking shower, suddenly somebody pat my shoulder. There's nobody. Where I was sleeping, demons snapped on my face. I couldn't move my body. Often I even see the demons. They just torture me with a nightmare, with a fear. But eventually I realized I need to depend on Jesus. And one time when the demons really tried to kill me, snapped me physically on my face. So Jesus helped me. Immediately a big shadow went out of the window. For many times, Jesus rescued me. And during those time, 5 years I didn't work because Rudy said, I can support you. But I turned to New Ager. I tried to seek the truth. I still have a confusion. Every day I was so hungry to read all different books, all different religions. I learned how to meditate. I always judge Rudy. If he had the wrong hair style, wrong beard, I would not talk to him. I would ignore him, treat him very rude. Because of that evil eye, judgmental eyes, like a generation curse from my grandmother, my father, always like to judge others, especially they like to judge their spouse. They want their spouse always look good. Otherwise, they will get angry. You are the one suffer most because your joy depend on others, depend on outside. And I was torturing myself all the day. When I came to America 2010, one day, I look at Rudy. He was in front of me. A voice told me, you will not spend more than 10 years with this man. I was wondering where this voice come from. And then later, turned to reality. Before he died, was 9 years, 3 months he died. During those years, 5 years, I was have a comfortable life, read books every day. 2015 beginning, Rudy diagnosed he had a cancer growing. The doctor said he only have 3 months to live. Out of fear, I said, I need to go out to work. At this time, he betrayed his friend. He stole all the money from his friend. Now he couldn't travel to Europe anymore. Now I realize we have to find out a way to make money in America. Now I know I have to learn the knowledge from him. He only have 3 months to live. During that 3 months, I became a professional jeweler. I was able to make money. I had all the knowledge I learned from him. But 3 months later, he didn't die. He survived for actual 4 years. And now I understood why he didn't die. Because God used him to mold me, to prepare me. During these 4 years, we work every day, travel through all different cities. And we realized that apartment, because of not money to rent, we decided to get rid of the unnecessary cost. Now we became like a homeless. Can you imagine you stay in a motel for 4 years, every day, in different motel most of the time. Every day I have to pack, exhausted, I complaining, I didn't understand. We make great money. Every month we made 10,000. By the end of the month, we always naked, missing money. I never had my own $20 in my pocket. Because the money always, he need to pay the bills. I have to give everything to him. I tried one time. He gave me $100. I used knowledge. I turned to $1,000 in 1 week. But 1 week later, he came to me. I need your $1,000 to pay that bill. And eventually I gave up. I knew I couldn't have my own 1 dime. So whenever I need to purchase food, even $20, I have to open mouth to him. Even every day, I make plenty of money because we keep buy jewelry, sell jewelry, constantly traveling. But I didn't have any money. Now I get so tired of this life. I complaining to God. Why I have to go through this journey? Meaningless. Doesn't make sense. Because I heard God told me a few years earlier. God said, your life purpose is preaching, is writing. I said, God, look at me, where I am right now. What you tell me is not true. I'm doing something totally meaningless, nonsense. I make money hard. Rudy, he's a slave of his bills, 26 bills. He didn't want to listen to my suggestion. And I became his slave. I said, this will never end. I feel helpless. I look like a zombie. I stopped to even comb my hair. I didn't even wash my face round. One day I look in the mirror. I was But that determination is a turning point. I encourage you right now. Maybe you are going through something you don't understand, make you exhausted, frustrated. But what you need to do is make a vow to Jesus. I'm going to react differently than ever. I'm going to handle situation with a smile. I don't allow enemy to steal my joy, steal my hope. This is so important because if that time, without to make this determination, I would stay in that place for a much longer time, stuck in that place like Israelites, always struggle, always murmur, complaining. If I don't change my reaction, I could stay there actually 10, 20, 30 years. After I made determination, everything changed. Not situation changed. Situation actually got worse. That's how God tame you, change you, mold you. I remember that was 2017. We always fight. So one day we made a decision to get divorced. I was excited to divorce with him. Finally, I can have my own money. I can live the life I want, no longer be slave for someone. I was so excited, have my suitcase already prepared. But when I look at my phone, I saw my cousin. She shared testimony, and I cried bitterly. That testimony moved my heart. I repent to Jesus, forgive me, Father. And I heard a clear voice. It's not time to release you from this place. I said, yes, Lord. I'm gonna surrender to your will. Even it's painful for me. I was disappointed. I have to continue live with Rudy, continue do the same boring job day after day. But I kept my promise. I put my best clothes. I changed the way I talk. No confidence. I totally look like a failure. But from that day, I made a decision. I want to look a winner for Jesus. I don't want the people look me down. Nobody even know what I'm going through. And we made crazy money that time. But we spent $40,000 to learn real estate. All the money robbed by the false teachers. I remember 2018. We only had $10,000. We invest Bitcoins. But 2 months later, that $10,000 turned to $100,000. Now we both get so excited. We stopped working. And Rudy said, we're going to soon become millionaire. But soon, all the money disappeared because the price dropped. And his hope disappeared. Now his tumor started grow so fast. That was end of 2018. And the doctor said, this time, you don't have a chance anymore. But Rudy said, I have one wish. I want to travel with my son. But we don't have money to travel. He begged me to borrow money from my parents. And I knew this time I have to pay by myself, $40,000. And my parents eventually gave it to me because Rudy said, if you don't get this money, I will kill myself. $40,000, Rudy used some bought Bitcoin and used some money travel. 1 month later, $40,000 completely gone. Now he was in desperation again. He asked me, keep borrowing money from my best friend. Back then, she was in relationship, struggled. Rudy let me talk to this lady every day, spend an hour, comfort her. Then Rudy tell me, ask money from her, ask $15,000. I did. So this lady sent us $15,000. 2 weeks later, completely gone. Now I owe somebody $60,000. And then he asked me, ask my cousin, invest money in crypto. My cousin sent $5,000. And Rudy know he gonna die soon. You know, I was a foolish woman. If I have any kind of brain cells, I will think about my future, plan my future. I sold my apartment, had $100,000. I gave half to my parents, half to Rudy. Now I believe why God chose me. I was a person, have a pure heart, always never think about self. I was selfless. That's the other reason when I look back why God chose me. Suddenly, his tumor grows so fast. He couldn't walk normal. And also he couldn't work. We have again end up to sit in the most cheap motel you can imagine. Every day I have to search where is the cheapest motel. We end up to Kissimmee, that the cheap area, $30 a night. And during those days, I have to very calculated how to use the money. We sold everything we could. And all the money so easily he sent out. Back then he sent the money to his ex-girlfriend to pay her furniture because she paid the mortgage. But because of my ignorance, where you can see my purity, God always favored me. God always helped me. We stuck in that motel. His situation get worse and worse every day. One day I was sitting in front of that camera, talking to audience like you right now, because since I couldn't do anything, I said, God, I need to do something for you. I will preach your good news, talk about the faith in you, patience, love, hope. So every morning I would sit in front of the camera. But then I was wondering, it showed to me 200 audience, but never have one person talk back to me. I was confused, but every day I talked with a passion, with excitement. Behind me was that half-dead husband, and then that broken wound, smelly, whole room stink. I smell death. Rudy no longer be the same person. Most of the time, he lost his conscience, like always sleep. If he wake up, he will be so angry. He couldn't eat anymore. And that day, I sit in front of the table. I sensed that Rudy want to kill me because my excitement voice tortured him. He was trying to sleep. So I sensed the strong tendency. He was ready to kill me because between that time, every day, he would hold his gun, go to bed. He said, if I couldn't handle this pain anymore, I would kill myself. And I couldn't take away that gun. Now, I knew I'm in that place. I depend on God desperately. With my value belief system, I will never run away from Rudy because I know he needs help. If he died, I have to take care of everything behind. I cannot be a coward because I'm afraid to death, run away, abandon him. And I decided I will stay, even I risk my life. At the moment, I made the most powerful prayer in my life. I prayed to Jesus. Father, you know he wants to kill me, but take away my fear. If that's your will, if I'm supposed to die, I don't mind to die. But if that's not your will, save my life, protect me. After I made this prayer, I have no fear at all. I had a peace. And I noticed God took away the evil spirit in Rudy's heart. Now he looked at me differently, without anger. He will show me his big son. He couldn't talk anymore because of that throat cancer. I have to hold him, go to the bathroom. And one day he was falling. I went to rescue him. And then my arm scratched on that wall. It was so painful. I have to carry that suitcase since Rudy cannot do anything. We have all the heavy suitcase. I have to push him in that wheelchair. I have to carry all the heavy things. That's a moment I said, God, once I was full of pride. Always think I'm better than others. Look where I am right now. Shameful. Have to go through all these trials. But I said, God, thank you. I realized I don't have pride anymore. Now I'm humble. Now I stop to judge Rudy. Because when he grew that tumor, he looked even more ugly than ever. But I realized my judgmental tendency disappeared. I look at him with love, with compassion, with mercy. And during those few months, everything became harder and harder, worse and worse. I noticed my faith become stronger and stronger. My love toward Jesus also growing every day. My joy even growing. I couldn't understand. How does this make sense to me? God is supernatural God. Until you go through these trials, when you walk with Jesus together, you understand that his love is so deep beyond your imagination. How he tried to teach you. Now I was regretted for those years, filled with bitterness, confusion, such a wasting time, without understanding his goodness. He wants to take away my darkness. He wants to tame me. He wants to make me beautiful like Jesus. But without those hard times, how can I be transformed? He took away everything I have. So I realized I have nothing. I must depend on you. He changed me completely through the trials. Without those years, I will stay the same ugly, full of self. If without go through this journey. The darkest time was beginning of 2019. There's no any money coming in, but continue every month we need to pay the bills. Eventually we only have $100 left. That's all we have. We only have a rental car. And Rudy one day found out he tried to kill himself with a gun. Every time I tried to tell him, you have to go through that suffering because of what you did to people. I need to spend another time talk about Rudy's life. He should have a totally different life because he sold his soul to the devil. Because he didn't protect his weakness. His weakness is to spend the money crazily, never know how to self-control. And whenever he run out of money, he would desperately take money from other people who trust him. Each of his best friends lost $160,000. Like me, I also lost $160,000. Eventually, he wanted to use his son to go to bank to get a loan and send the money to him. He became a person, is no longer human-like anymore because he didn't take control of his weakness. It's so simple. I told him many times, get rid of 26 bills, more than $10,000 every month. I said, we only need to pay very, very necessary. Get rid of them. But he didn't listen. He said, we have to pay all the bills. That's why he continued to live a sinful life, take advantage from others. He bring anger to God. Eventually, even God gave him actually extend his life for years. He could repent to God, but he followed a wrong false teacher. He listened to Joel Osteen every day. He feel good. Joel Osteen's message make you feel good, but you never want to change. You still think you are walking on the right path. He was so proud for what he took advantage from others. If you don't know your weakness will kill you. Do not follow false teachers. Do not satisfy your itch ears. Do not out of self-control. You need to know your weakness. And you have to live righteous. Do not let sin control you. But Rudy was so stubborn. The other reason he got killed, his stubbornness. Many times God used me to remind him. That's how you can change your life, where you repent to God. But he refused to change. Eventually, God had to kill him. When we traveled during those 4 or 5 years, every day he would eat in different restaurants. Can you imagine? That kind of food sooner or later gonna kill you. With high sugar, high salt, bad quantities. 4 years every day. But I have a cooking part with me. Every day I will cook my own food. And he insulted me. Your food is like a doggy food. I eat McDonald's better than yours. He eat this fast food every day. One day I said, you really want to kill yourself? He said, if I die, God will give you better husband. He made fun with me, but that's the truth. If somebody, they don't treasure you, they don't treasure their own life, what they deserve. They deserve punishment, deserve death. Eventually God will have to take you away. The evil want to kill you, want to destroy you. If you are right with God, the evil have no chance. The devil used Rudy many times, tried to kill me. One time when we traveled in the desert, because he spent $400 a night for the hotel. He tried to please his son. That money all come from my parents' hard-working money. I got so angry. I argued with him. I said, I found $70 similar hotel. Why you wasted money? He threatened me. He said, do you believe I can kill you with my gun? And second day, he said, let's go to the desert. I refused, went to the desert. I always want to please God. I want to do the righteous thing. Even I know this man can kill me. But I said, God, until you release me, I will live. If you are not afraid of to die, you passed the test. Why we have to go through all the trials? Because there's a purpose for God. He wants you have whatever God have, the characters, patience. He will test your love, forgiveness. If you have self-bitter, if you murmur complaining, he will test you until you changed. He will test you through check your characters. Do you have endurance, courageous? Do you have faith in him? Do you have awareness? Are you willing to letting go whatever you have? Now you can make a peace with whatever happened into your life. Now you can forgive people who take from you, who hurt you. Now you no longer feel self-pity anymore. You have a confidence, even you have nothing. Now you get rid of your greedy, your envy, your jealousy, your self-worthiness. And you are cleansed by Jesus. You are willing to take full responsibility. You no longer play that role, victim role. That's the reason why you have to go through trials. Because that's the result God wants to see. As long as you start to carry this character of God, the fruit of God, he will release you. Are you willing to get rid of your ego, submit to Jesus, surrender to him, even you don't understand why this happened to you? Are you willing to soft your hardened heart? Are you willing to get rid of your confusion? Let God take full control. He will test you through many, many ways, major ways through your marriage. Because this is how he builds your characters. That's how he tests you, he molds you. Before God uses you, he must mold you. He must to test you like a diamond. I'm in this business. Often I deal with the diamond cutter. I said, wow, you're going to damage this precious diamond. But the cutter said, I know what I'm doing. I know every steps. You don't need to worry. Our God, He is potter. He is a diamond cutter. He know the value. He know what to do with you. But if you have no value in God's eyes, if you don't have potential, many are called, but few are chosen. Most of the people cannot be used by God because they are too much victim mind. They are too much love this world. They are too stubborn, impossible to be changed. Like Rudy, even God gave them opportunity again and again. They will fail the test. Eventually, God have to let them go. But who will be the chosen one? After you go through those trials, you are determined. You are unshakable. You are like a fighter. And you don't allow anything to take away your strength, take away your hope. This type of people, you are like a diamond selected by God. Why diamond cutter don't try to cut the valueless stone, wasting time. That's why only certain stone will be cutted, put in the trials, go through all the different process. We are the diamonds, but are you a diamond full of potential? God want to use you, prepare you. Those stones have most potential, will go through most tough process. It looks like it get tortured. What are you doing, God? I want to destroy this stone. But in God's eyes, you are the most precious stone. God knows what He's doing. He wants to take away the filthiness, the worstness,